I should have the map available in the next month or two. The book probably later in the year, early next year. Here's the cover. Here's some of the books you guys were asking about. But remember, you don't have to just read all this stuff. Study is one part, but you have to balance it with experience. To balance that intellectual side, you gotta get with the artistic side. It's also the natural side, but spending too much time over here, you'll be frolicking in the woods naked. But here's where it gets crazy. So Malkuth represents the earth. It's round, and Yesod is the dream world in your subconscious mind. We already went over these two. But coming up here, this Tifereth, your solar plexus, this would be where your Christ consciousness is. Or Buddha consciousness, or enlightenment, or your Kundalini rising, whatever you want to call it. Then moving over here to severity, we already know that we use this one in a positive way by getting rid of what no longer serves us. Balance with being merciful, taking it easy on people and yourself. And the hidden one up here, Da'ath, or knowledge, this is the dark night of the soul and the great abyss crossing up here. And like I mentioned before, Da'ath, like Darth Vader, he kind of got lost in that dark night of the soul and got tied up in the knowledge and the power and went crazy. This is also the planet Pluto, which I find interesting that they tried to make Pluto not a planet anymore, trying to subconsciously remove knowledge from the planet, Earth. So if you connect it down to the two we went earlier, and back up, that's the upward-facing triangle. Then these two, tied in with this one, is the downward-facing triangle, creating the Star of David. Also like Metatron's cube. And it has 13 spheres. Just like the 13 signs in astrology! So having all of these balanced and creating that Christ enlightened center makes you a wonderful being. You might get the idea and know where to begin on here, but it's a good idea to keep a dream journal and a regular journal too. There's also the 22 paths in between all the spheres to focus on too. And the 22 paths represent experience. And in that movie Soul, the Soul 22, she was ready to come to Earth because she's ready to experience all of these things. But then you add the 10 spheres, which makes 32. Times that by 2, and you get 2 hexagrams for each one of those. 64. You probably have already seen your astrology chart. Richard Rudd does a lot of great work with this. You can get a free profile on his site. No, he's not paying me, but he should. So whether you do that, your astrology chart, or just use the Kabbalah chart, whichever way is going to be good. Christ consciousness is in the solar plexus because that's where we express ourselves to serve other people. It's not just Jesus, but Krishna and Ra. It's kind of funny. Krishna, Christ, Ra. It's kind of all the same stuff.